Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our ISKCON Blantyre YouTube page where we are currently discussing Lord Narasimhadeva, his pastimes, his appearance, his killing of Hiranyakashipu, prayers of the demigods, prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Currently we are on prayers of the Prahlad Maharaj and so far we have discussed till text number 31. Let's try discussing ahead. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 9th chapter, text number 32. Translation: O my Supreme Lord, or O my Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. After the annihilation, the creative energy is kept in you, who appear to sleep with half closed eyes. Actually, however, you do not sleep like an ordinary human being, for you are always in transcendental stage, beyond the creation of the material world, and you always feel transcendental bliss. As Karanadakshay Vishnu, you thus remain in your transcendental status, not touching material objects. Although you appear to sleep, this sleeping is a sorry. Although you appear to sleep, this sleeping is distinct from sleeping in ignorance. Purport commentary by Srila Prabhupada. As explained very clearly in the Brahma Samhita 5.47, यह कारणावजले भजति स्म योगा निद्रामनन्तजगदण्डसरोमकूपा अन्धारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य परां समूर्तिं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who lies down in the causal ocean in his planetary portion as Mahavishnu, with all the universes generating from the pores of the hair of his transcendental body, and who accepts the mystic slumber of eternity. The Adi Purush, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Govinda, expands himself as Mahavishnu. After the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation, he keeps himself in transcendental bliss. The word Yoga Nidram is used in reference to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should understand that this nidra or sleep is not like our nidra in the mode of ignorance. Nidra means sleep. The Lord is always situated in transcendence. He is Satchit Ananda, eternally in bliss, and thus he is not disturbed by sleep like an ordinary human being. It should, sorry, it should be understood that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in transcendental bliss in all stages. Srila Madhvacharya concisely states the Lord as Turya Sthitaha, always situated in transcendence. In transcendence, there is no such thing as Jaga, Nidra, and Shushupti, wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. The practice of yoga is similar to Yoga Nidra of Mahavishnu. Yogis are advised to keep their eyes half closed, but this stage is not at all one of sleep. Although imitation yogis, especially in the modern age, manifest their so-called yoga by sleeping. In Shastra, in the Shastra, yoga is described as dhyana avastita, a state of full meditation. But this is meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhyanavastitena tadgatena manasa. The mind should be always situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. Yoga practice does not mean sleeping. The mind should always be actively fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. Then one's practice of yoga will be successful. Yes, yoga nidra and yoga. Generally, when we hear the word yoga, we think health and we will do exercise, we'll stand on the head, do headstands, and do all kinds of asanas. But that's not what yoga is. Yoga means linking. The word yoga means itself link. So yoga means linking ourselves with the Supreme, and that will happen by meditation. So the Brahma Samhita in the very first sloka, which is revealed to us, it says the Lord is Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. The word Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge, and Ananda means full of bliss. We have seen this in the previous talk. That is the Lord, Sat Chit Ananda. We are technically Asat. We are not eternal. We are going to die. Everybody comes with the expiry date. Then we are Achit. We are not full of knowledge. We have to go to school to learn the basics. Forget about spiritual knowledge. But spiritual knowledge, they act like everybody knows. Oh, please, oh my dear sir, please take a Bhagavad Gita. You know, this is no, no, no. I know everything about the Gita. So they act like they know, but they really don't know. And we are Nirananda. We are not at all happy all the time. The Lord is happy all the time. He's and we are sad all the time. Always in anxiety. Okay, what is going to happen now? What is going to happen next? But the Lord is not like that. So similarly, at the same time, because we are not asat, we are temporary. We will die. Everybody has to die. Nobody's come here to live forever. So similarly, the sleep that the Lord sleeps in, or rest, is called yoga nidra. He's not sleeping. Even in modern day yoga, there is a system of yoga nidra where we lie down on our back with hands and legs apart little bit, and eyes half closed and listening to instructions. Feel your right hand. Feel your right elbow. That's not yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is meditation on God, meditation on Krishna. And when the Lord is sleeping, He is creating universes through His pores. So imagine how many pores do we have on our not only hand, whole body. So many universes come out of the Lord. So imagine how big is the Lord, how big is the universe. So it's very mind-boggling. So let's come down to the basics that yoga. When we do yoga, we understand everything about God. Not the exercise yoga, the bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is done when we are following the instructions of Krishna given in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 66 shloka, where it is said that, give up all so-called religion and surrender unto me. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So yes, modern yoga is not really yoga. It is just some exercise to keep the body fit so that we can continue enjoying, so that we can continue increasing our karma, and we can continue indirectly suffering in this material world. So yes, let's go ahead to text number 32 and see, not 32, 33, and see what's discussed there. Text 33. Translation. This cosmic manifestation, the material world, is also your body. This total lump of matter is agitated by your potent energy known as Kala Shakti, and thus and thus the three modes of material nature are manifested. You awaken from the bed of Shesha, Ananta, and from your navel a small transcendental seed is generated. It is from this seed that the lotus flower of the gigantic universe is manifested, exactly as a banyan tree grows from a small seed. Purport commentary by Srila Prabhupada. The three different forms of Mahavishnu, namely Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu, who are the origin of creation and maintenance, are gradually being described. From Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu is generated. From Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu is gradually expanded or gradually expands. Thus, Mahavishnu is the original cause of Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and from Garbhodakshay Vishnu comes the lotus flower of Lord Brahma, lotus flower from which Brahma is manifested. Thus, the original cause of everything is Vishnu, and consequently, the cosmic manifestation is not different from Vishnu. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 8th verse, wherein Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Garbhodakshay Vishnu is an expansion of Karanadakshay Vishnu, who is an expansion of Sankarshan. In this way, Krishna is ultimately the cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karanam. The conclusion is that both the material world and the spiritual world are considered to be the body of the Supreme Lord. We can understand that the material body is caused by a spiritual body and therefore an expansion of the spiritual body. Thus, when one takes up spiritual activities, one's entire material body is spiritualized. Similarly, in material world, when the Krishna consciousness movement expands, the entire material world becomes spiritualized. As long as we do not realize this, we live in the material world. But when we are fully Krishna conscious, we live not in the material world, but in the spiritual world. Yes, spiritual world or spiritual thing is just spiritual consciousness. If we have spiritual consciousness, we can see the most material situation as spiritual. But if our consciousness is material, even coming to the temple or going to the church, we'll see, oh, it's a building made of bricks. There is some statue of God, but who knows? So even in spiritual place, we will see with material vision if we do not have the proper consciousness. Yes, Prabhupada is explaining here from the uh, 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where it is said, 8th verse, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matha sarvan pravartate iti matva bhajante mam budha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Yes, so one who knows this naturally is going to be devoted to God. He's not going to be a miser and and not worship God, because if you know something is coming from God, naturally we'll be grateful. For example, when we are small children, our father buys us toys and mother cooks for us nice, nice stuff. So naturally we are grateful to them. We always thank, oh, thank you, mommy, thank you, daddy. So similarly, if we know that God is giving technically everything, how much more grateful will we be to God? So that's what this text is saying from the Bhagavad Gita. And one who knows that everything is coming from Krishna, everything is coming from God, naturally he becomes devoted to God. He's in, you know, being grateful to God. Then if we see, there's so many Vishnus explained here. Kandakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, and it's all big mess in the head. So let's make it very, very simple. We refer to the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now what we are reading is seventh canto, but in the first canto, there's a chapter called Krishna, the source of all incarnations. And in that, it is so easily explained that how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Alone, he's bored, nothing to play. Even if you have everything, but you're alone, you feel bored. So he was getting bored, so he expanded himself from one, became two. Then we call him as Balaram, as Krishna's brother. Then from Balaram comes the first four Chaturvyuha, or the first four incarnations of Godhead: Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And from them, from the Sankarshan in that category, Vasudeva Sankarshan, that Sankarshan gives another birth or expansion to another Chaturvyuha, means another four incarnations of the same Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva, and Sankarshan. And from this Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu, which is mentioned here, he comes to the material world, and he lies down in the causal ocean on the bed of Shesha, Ananta. His bed is known as Ananta, so he's lying there, and when he's breathing out, all the universes are coming out of his pores, and we are just, a breath of Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu. And in each universe, he expands himself into that. Vishnu is called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and that Vishnu is taking, you know, part in the fine details of creating that particular universe. And he, from his navel, comes a lotus flower, and on that lotus flower, we have Lord Brahma, who is the engineer of the universe, who has done very fine detailing of this universe. Everything is perfect here, unless man is messing it up. But when it was originally made, it was perfect. Now also we see there is so much perfection happening, but imperfect human beings are trying to make it difficult. So, anyways, and from that Vishnu, he expands into another last Vishnu called Shirodakshaya Vishnu. That Shirodakshaya Vishnu is also known as Paramatma, who is situated in our heart. That's what Lord Krishna is referring to in the Bhagavad Gita, saying, Sarvasya Chaham Hridisannivishto, that I am situated in everybody's heart. So that's Shirodakshaya Vishnu that is situated in everybody's heart. So I hope I just gave a 2-minute explanation, but I hope at least something is clear. From Krishna comes Balram, from Lord Balram comes the first four incarnations, and from the Sankarshan of that comes another four, and from the Sankarshan of that there's Mahavishnu, and the material world is created. Then from that Mahavishnu there is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the Vishnu in charge of this universe, or every universe is particular. And from there comes Shirodakshaya Vishnu, situated in our hearts and guiding us. Thank you. Let's go ahead and see what else is to be described, or what else is to be read. Text 34, translation. From the great lotus flower, now we are on Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From that lotus flower, Brahma was generated. From that great lotus flower, Brahma was generated, but Brahma certainly could not see nothing but the lotus. Therefore, thinking you to be outside, Lord Brahma dove into the water and attempted to find the source of the lotus for 100 years. He could not, or he could find no trace of you. However, when the seed fructifies, the original seed cannot be seen. Purport or commentary by Prabhupada. This is the description of the cosmic manifestation. The development of cosmic manifestation is like the fructification of a seed. When cotton is transformed into thread, the cotton is no longer visible. And when the thread is woven into cloth, the thread is no longer visible. Similarly, it is perfectly correct that when the seed had generated from the navel of Garbhodakshay Vishnu became manifested as a cosmic creation, no one could one could no longer understand where the cause of cosmic manifestation is. Modern scientists have tried to explain the origin of creation by a chunk theory, but no one can explain how such a chunk might have burst. The Vedic literature, however, explains clearly that the total material energy was agitated by the three modes of material nature because of the glance of Lord Vishnu or the Supreme Lord. In other words, the terms of the chunk theory, the bursting of the chunk and was caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, one must accept the Supreme Cause, the Lord Vishnu, as cause of all causes. Yes, Lord Brahma himself is saying, Lord Vishnu or Lord Govinda is Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause behind all the causes. So yes, I have made some notes. Let's see. So here, Prabhupada is explaining here, if we go to the second canto of the Bhagavatam, it is more clearly explained this whole pastime, second and the third canto of how this is happening. Lord Brahma is created, or he takes birth on the lotus flower coming from the navel of Lord Vishnu. In the beginning, it's only Lord Brahma. He doesn't know what's happening. He is not seeing anybody else. So he's panicking. So he jumps into the water of, the causal ocean, and he's looking for the source of the stem of that lotus, but he cannot find. He searches many, many years. Here, Prabhupada is mentioning 100 years, 100 celestial years. Cannot find. And then he goes up to the lotus and sits in meditation. There he hears from within his heart, and like an Akashvani or a sound in the air saying ta pa, only two letters, ta pa, ta pa, ta ta. He must do tap, or he must meditate on the Supreme Lord, and the austerities for the sake of the Supreme Lord. And then he goes into meditation, and later on everything is revealed within his heart. The Lord himself is saying, Aham eva sameva agre. In the second canto, we'll read that in the shlokas to come. But then, we are seeing how when he's doing meditation, the Lord guides him how to create the universe, etc., etc. And he's done a good job, very, very good job. But, because we like to adjust everything to our liking, so we have changed so much. If you see in our India, there was no such place called Mumbai, like just 150 years ago. But then they reclamated the land from the ocean, and now we have a Bombay which is shaky, doesn't have actual grounds. So whatever God has created, nobody is happy. They just want to do what they want to do. So and then Prabhupada is explaining how the scientists cannot explain the creation. In the Bhagavatam and in the supporting Vedic scriptures, there is so much clarity about creation, maintenance, annihilation, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, all these Vedas. Veda means knowledge, and all these different types of knowledges are there. But then material scientists, because they just want to be different, because Hindu scriptures are like mythology, and then they come up with this creation theory called Big Bang theory. From a chunk there was big blast, and all these things came into existence. And Prabhupada here is asking question that if Big Bang happened, okay, I accept Big Bang happened. Who did the Big Bang? Nothing happens automatically. Scientists themselves say nothing happens automatically. which means the Big Bang happened. It did not happen automatically. Somebody did it. So who is that somebody? That they do not know. So they themselves are, contradicting their own uh, theories. One theory says nothing comes by chance, everything has a reason behind it. Nothing happens automatically. One. Second, the chunk burst, Big Bang theory, but then the bang was not done by anybody. It happened automatically. So you see how material scientists are not really up to the mark. They can't even keep up with their own lies that they are spreading. And then in simple terms, how can a bang create such a beautiful, world or beautiful universe? We see wherever we go, we see beauty. Wherever you go in India, you see so much beautiful. You go to, the lake, not lake, the ocean side, there's beautiful scenery. The ocean is beautiful. Ocean is giving water to the clouds. The cloud is pouring water on us, and life is going on. You go to Africa, such a beautiful place, so many beautiful animals. You go to America, God bless America, everything there is also nice and beautiful. So how can everything, all of this come from a big bang? Technically, it's like when I put a bomb in one place and then it blasts and everything nice comes. Doesn't happen. So we know that Big Bang theory is not really a theory. It is just some guesswork done, because nothing like now. Just now we are having so much war, and just a few months ago there was big war in Iraq, not Iraq, Palestine and Lebanon, and also Israel. And Israel was throwing bombs, and they flattened the whole of Palestine. So there are so many bombs. Technically, according to the Big Bang theory, as soon as one bomb falls, it should grow into seeds and like beautiful scenery and all. This really happen. So the bang doesn't really cause creation; it creates destruction. So we have seen practically, and how can we change that and say no, no, no? But when the original Big Bang happened, all these nice things came. No, bang. The word bang itself means that something bad has happened, and nothing good has come out of it. So let's read a little bit ahead, and then we'll call it a day. This is text 35. Translation: Lord Brahma, who is celebrated as Atmayon, having been born out without a mother, was struck with wonder. Thus he took shelter of the lotus flower, and when he had been purified after undergoing severe austerities for many hundreds of years, he could see the cause of all causes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was spread throughout his own body and senses, just as aroma, although very subtle, is perceived in the earth. Just like how we said earlier that he heard the two syllables ta and pa, ta, pa, and which means do austerities and penances. He did that, and then he could see the Lord face to face. Let's read the purport or commentary by Prabhupada. Here the statement of self-realization, Aham Brahmasmi, which is interpreted by the Mayavadi philosophy to mean I am the Supreme Lord, is explained. The Supreme Lord is the original seed of everything. Janmadiyasya yataha aham sarvasya prabho mattha sarvam pravartate. Thus, the Supreme Lord extends everywhere, even throughout our bodies, because our bodies are made of material energy, which is Lord's separate energy. One should realize that since the Lord is the Supreme, since the Lord, one should realize that since the Supreme Lord spreads throughout one's body, and since the individual soul is a part of the Supreme Lord. Everything is Brahman. Sarva Khalva Ida Brahman. This realization was achieved by Lord Brahma after he was purified, and it is possible for everyone. When one completely in knowledge of Aham Brahmasmi, he thinks, I am part of the Supreme Lord. My body is made of the material energy, and therefore I have no separate existence. Yet, although the Supreme Lord is spread everywhere, it is different from me. He is different from me. This is the philosophy of Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. An example given in this regard is that an aroma within the earth. The earth, in the earth, there are aromas and colors, but no one can see them. Actually, we find them in flowers grow from earth. They appear to be different colors and aromas, which they have certainly gathered from earth, although in earth we cannot see them. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, spreads throughout one's body and soul, although we cannot see him. An intelligent man, however, can see the Supreme Lord existing everywhere. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastam. The Lord is within the universe and within the atom by his different energies. This is the real vision of the Supreme Lord for the intelligent man. Brahma, the first created being, became the most intelligent person by tapasya, austerity, and thus he came to this realization. We must therefore take knowledge from Lord Brahma, who became perfect by his tapasya. Yes, Lord Brahma became perfect by tapasya because he heard this truth in the tapa, meditate, and all do austerity and think about the Lord. And here Prabhupada is just continuing to explain on the previous purport how Achinta Bheda Abheda Tattva, that everything is one and still not the same. And Prabhupada is giving this very nice example of earth. We see earth everywhere, but if we take the sand or earth and put it in our mouth, there is no taste. But put a seed there, let the seed grow, the seed will give you fruit, and the fruit tastes so nicely. Nothing but, the qualities of the earth. And Prabhupada is giving an example of the flower. We don't smell the earth. There's no smell to the earth. Many times bad smell. But put a seed, let it germinate, let it grow. You will have beautiful flowers of beautiful colors, beautiful smell, very, very fragrant. And nowadays they are trying to make, fragrance in the laboratory, which is not the same because it fades away. There's no originality. So that's the point. Is Prabhupada is trying to make Achinta Bheda Bheda. Everything is coming from one source, but still it's not the same. You cannot say that the earth and the flower is the same. No, but the flower has come from the earth. It has derived its beautiful color, beautiful nature, its beautiful smell from the earth. So technically, everything comes from the earth, but everything still maintains the different, different, individuality. Like, rose also grows from the earth and jasmine flower also grows from the earth. Both have different colors, both have different smells, both have different sizes. So everybody is individual, but they are all deriving energy from the earth. Similarly, we are all different. I am different, you are different, Somebody sitting in America are different, somebody sitting in Africa, people are different, but our everything is coming from the Supreme Lord, Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu, who is none other than Narasimhadeva. Narasimhadeva Bhagwan ki jai. So let me just call it a day here, and I'll see you in the next video, continuing to read from the prayers of Prahlada Maharaja. Hare Krishna.